Okay, welcome back to our lesson 6, part 2. Now, we've come up to the box model. Now, the box model is quite vital for you to have a really good understanding of this, as basically when you want to put something anywhere on the screen, you'll be using the box model somehow eventually if you're using CSS. Okay, a little bit about the basics. Is each box model is going to have various parts of it, and here we have the margin edge, the border edge, the padding edge, and the content edge. And each of these, whether it's be the margin or the border or the padding, can be made thicker, smaller. You can and just talk about just the top part or the margin bottom, margin left or margin right. You can color it. You can in the content you can put background pictures, all sorts of things you can control. And by making, for example, the margin significantly larger, we can go like move that box to the right hand side of the screen or vice versa. It will be getting more examples on this just very shortly. You can have boxes inside boxes, which can be in boxes. It's a hierarchical type thing, so you can have many inside each other. If you had, for example, a footer down the bottom, that would be one div, and within the footer you'd have many other boxes, so that you could equally space out the various links that you have inside it. Okay, the div tag. Now we have brushed on this slightly, but I want to explain this in greater detail. Now before CSS we used to have, and I'll almost read this, we used to have tables to place the content wherever you wanted. And this was fine until we started getting different size resolutions and screen sizes. Once that started happening, when the table was displayed on the browser, different parts of the table would go all over the place, and it was almost random, and it was extremely difficult to get a table to stay at the right place on every resolution. So in came CSS. This is kind of like late 90s now, and it had our savior, which was the div tag. And the div or divide method allows us to basically, using kind of like your imagination, dividing up the web page into square boxes, and that's why we call it the box model. And every box can have, as we just said a moment ago, it can be having different width margins to place it across or up and down. And then you've got your border, which can be dotted or black or thick or thin or all sorts of things. And then we have the padding within the border to give us complete control. And the content, whether it be another box or whether it be hello world or whatever you're doing, the pictures will be positioned within inside the box. Okay, now as I did say, and it's written here, it's vital that you have a really good understanding how positioning works. Now unfortunately there are literally thousands of different combinations of how you can position things, and so we do have a bit of reading and a bit of research to do. I'll just jump out of the PowerPoint, and in the folder we have this particular link here, which is called the brainjar.com. This is a website which has around about 5 or 6 pages, and it's really important that you slowly read through each of these pages, get a really good understanding on the different types of positioning. There's the relational, absolute, fixed, and the others. You must have a really good understanding of this. If you don't, you're not going to be able to put the different things where you want it on the screen, which is essential. There are other links which are also very good links for trying to get your head around it. It is quite difficult at first. Some people just do a search on YouTube because they find it's easier for and for them to watch on the specific areas and just get a YouTube video on that. Just searching YouTube is fine. There's many of them. Once you have gone through this, I've actually got now please make sure that you've done all the reading first, and make sure you think you've got a fairly good understanding, and then to check yourself out. And there's another folder here which is central and scaling, and I've just got a very simple website which I'll put up here. And this website centralizes everything, and this is kind of like my little logo box. This is my main content with field. I've got my form and my menu. So if I made this being a scalable website, you'll see that it always stays in the center, and then once it's below the 800 or whatever it is, it starts getting the horizontal slider on the bottom. Once it's over the width, it simply goes away. If you want to have a look at the code in here, it's I put the CSS actually all in built into the same one just for ease, but I've got various rem statements to explain what I've been doing or which point, and you'll be able to go through that and hopefully work out what's going on. Now, I do encourage you to make sure that you've got a significant understanding before you do this, before you try and work this out. Go and read through that BrainJar tutorial. It's really important that you've got a good understanding about that. Alright, the next part of it is to do the activities, and so this is this part, which is what you'll need to submit to me to prove to all the world that you actually know how to do this. The activities is in this folder eventually, and I have 6 pictures here and 6 websites. Now the websites basically just the HTML, which doesn't have any styling against it. If we right click and look at the view at the source, you can see that we've got some divs. The divs have been given IDs, and so we've got the content 3 in my div 3, content 2 in my div 2, and so forth. And within the style area is where you will be needing to place your code, your styling code, to get this website to look like the picture. So I'm just going to open up the picture, and that is what you need this to end up looking like. And there are 6 websites or web pages. Now you do not need to change the HTML. Okay, so the HTML is correct. The only thing you need to do is change the CSS part of it. And we have 6 pictures there, and that is your activity. And this is not an easy one, because you'll need to do a reasonable amount of reading to get your head around it. And the reason why is that there are a lot of different variables and variations on how to do things, and so you do have to have a pretty good understanding about what they do. Okay, I'll leave that with you.